Hiya folks, we're back in Savage Lands for Season 2, Episode Dickety-Doo-Dah. Whatever it is, there's been a lot of them. So the game is currently very much in transition. So there's balancing changes, things are being made a little easier, content has been moved around, crafting requirements are changing. Enemies, not many of them around at the moment, but they are slowly putting them back in again, because everything's up for grabs at the moment. So we're just going to have a bit of a run around the island and discuss what's going on in the near future of Savage Lands, as we come towards the end of this season of my videos. Right, so really the philosophy is at the moment is they're going to try and make the game a bit like it used to feel back in the Legacy days. And by Legacy I mean the old original island, where it was just one great big island and everywhere was a long way away from each other. And it was all about exploration and getting lost, rather than the more adventurous progression type stuff that we've got now. So in practice, that means that the day-night cycle is changing. The evenings are going to be longer, like they used to be. The dragon's a bit more like he used to be, and it's not just going to keep on dive bombing you every 5 seconds, and never at all on the first island. Actually, this fire sword is getting a bit distracting. So once I've taken care of Lord Cruel, I will get rid of it because yeah, it looks crap. Yeah, Lord Cruel is another thing that's kind of in transition at the moment, I guess. As a boss kind of character, he's had a troubled old history. Because when he was first... when he was first introduced, he was there to guard the bridge that separated the first island from the second. I really should check his body, I guess. Oh, he's dropped his rune of command and a summoning shard. So he's had a troubled old history, and because he was introduced first of all as a guardian for the bridge, and you tonked him, you got his skull, and you made the bridge appear. Then he was moved to here, Saval, and you had to get his skull and take it all the way to the bridge. Then they took the bridge out, they put a portal in, so you could magically jump between them once you killed Lord Cruel. Then the skull was replaced with a rune of command, which you used to activate the portal, and now they've taken the portal out again. So now there's just a bridge there, just permanently. I've gone back to the old days. And you don't even need the rune of command to open it, which is rather peculiar, because I don't know why I've got this bloody thing now. But yeah, everything's in transition at the moment. Title screen! Yeah. Actually, speaking of that, if you notice, well, maybe you notice, there's less ice than there used to be. At some point during Season 2 of my videos, they added lots of ice, in fact so much ice it was ridiculous, and there's also a lot of ground ice as well, so packed ice that you could just walk along for ages. That's kind of been taken out for the most part. There's a lot of little bits of ice, but yeah, oh bloody hell. God damn it. Yeah, let's take off that fire sword, it is getting rather annoying on screen. So yes, they're taking it out for a reason, possibly like dialing it back to what it used to be. I mean, sometimes there's a feeling that the developers have admitted defeat in certain ways of the new islands and everything. But yeah, so the thinking is that they're removing a lot of the ice for a very particular reason that they're not actually telling us at the moment. It's going to become clear over the next few weeks, and it's going to involve... Well, actually, I have no idea, because they're not telling us. I suspect it's going to be something to do with new islands, maybe. Probably not, but we can only hope. Because the new islands... I say new, they've been here for the whole of 2016, are smaller than the old original island. And maybe to get back to the original sort of feel of the Legacy, they may be adding more play area that isn't just a load of ice. Better take care of hunger. Yum 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 yum. Actually, with less ice, it might be harder to get the Flesh Ripper these days. I did a video on it recently where I said, this is how easy it is to get the Flesh Ripper, you just wander across the ice. Now they've taken a lot of it out, so it might actually be a lot tougher again. But, in general, the stats are now going to be a bit easier, more forgiving on newer players, and a bit more like Legacy. Like, you can actually run for a long time now before your stamina bar depletes. Cold's less brutal and stuff like that. There's still quite a lot of pop-up at the moment. And also, the new AI pathing hasn't been put in again, still hasn't been put in, that will improve a lot of stuff. There's Kerr having a bit of a land. Kerr won't attack people on the first island anymore, by the way. I'm just wondering, yeah, I didn't even mention it. I'm just wandering across the bridge. It's a bit different to the old bridge that used to be here. It now kind of leads to a small little island here, which doesn't really have much on it. It goes flatly over there for a bit and into some rocks over there, but nothing particularly exciting. Maybe they'll do something with that at some point. So I'll carry on going along the bridge to Freydolin. Yeah, let's just run. So at this end of the bridge, ooh, I wonder if it is actually going to attack me now I'm on the second island. I don't know at what point. No, I don't think he's seen me. I think we're fine. We'll just let him be. So another thing that's going to be like Legacy is that they're starting to put a few random things dotted about, more on the first island, I think. Just think, oh, hello, no, I tell a lie. There's one right here. There's going to be things just lying about the place to pick up like that, which is going to be like nicely helpful. Because in the old days, you used to be able to walk down the beach and you used to just find axes and stuff like that. Nice little bit of discovery, things to actually find. Something that's brand new, though, is this. And this is a clay node. And the clay used to come out of this sort of rock, along with stones and whetstones, and a little bit of amber from time to time. But now they've been taken out and put in their own little node. I don't know how long these take to grow back, but if it's anything like the other ones, it'll probably be about 10, 15 minutes, whatever. Also, they seem to have lowered the water level in the game, I think, leading to a few graphical glitches at the moment. There's a few things like that. Like back on the starter island, there's a floating boat, which is actually floating like about a foot above the water, which is most unfortunate. But yeah, because it's in transition, things are being slowly fixed and all that. What's this? Flint node. I think graphically some of the nodes are actually changing to make them a bit more obvious what they actually are. And because it was very difficult to differentiate some of the old ones, where you got a silver node, a slightly different silver node, and a darker silver node, and it was all a bit confusing, which is good to see. Actually, there should be some more artwork in general. I bet I can't find any now. No, probably not. But yeah, some of the artwork here has been updated. Apparently, where's the lore? Apparently there's starting to be some graphics in the lore, but I haven't seen any evidence of that just yet. But there may well be that in the very near future. I'm just coming up to Weald. This is where the portal is, or was, which is rather unfortunate. So I'm not quite sure why I'd want to visit Weald these days. On the upside, what's that? There should be a building here, apparently. I think that's a massive glitch. Let's back away from the glitch. Yeah, there's a building to repair there, but it's all gone a bit weird. Yeah, a lot of the buildings in the game have now got a bit better. Because, again, this is one thing where, at some point during the game of the development of which is covered in my Season 2 videos, they burnt most of the buildings down in the game, so everything was a bit shitty. Then they introduced a repair system, so you could repair the buildings back to their former glory. And now, a lot of the ruined buildings, it's fucked here as well. A lot of the ruined buildings are less ruined now, so they're like almost complete. But something's very wrong here, though. There's some rather unfortunate glitches. But yeah, a lot of them are now almost complete, so it's a lot easier to actually repair. Also, some forges are going to be pre-existing inside buildings, just like the old days. This is where the portal is, or was. It's not here now. It's gone. Speaking of gone, there doesn't seem to be any of the little scuttly bastards at the moment. A lot of enemies in this build don't seem to be there. I'm not quite sure if they're taking it out and then putting them back in again in future. I assume so, because at the moment there's fuck all here. There's supposed to be the ghouls scuttling along the ground. It's rather unfortunate, really, because they've just put this game into a humble bundle, and you can pay what you want for it. And I think they may have. It's unfortunately if only they could have waited a couple of weeks. And just like repaired some of the more obvious bugs in this build, because otherwise it's going to give obviously a bit of a poor first impression. But I guess sometimes these things are not in your control. I was thinking of picking up that bundle, almost thinking of giving Rust a go, but I just look at it and think it's kind of multiplayer-y, isn't it? And I can't be bothered with that. Right, okay, let's have a very quick look inside here. The Carter's Hall dungeon. Bit cold, run for it, lads. This has changed a little bit. They still haven't put all the mobs in that they promised, but the lighting has changed now. It's a lot gloomier, more disturbing. You're not going to be able to see shit. So, if you've got an enchanted fire sword, which you haven't, probably. Actually, to be honest, if you're still sticking with this video series, you've probably got better equipment than I have. No, this is the enchanted fire sword, so you can use this to find your way quite easily. Also, keep you a little bit warm. So I just have a bit of a poke around. Yeah, so other than that, things haven't really changed. It's just the same old Carter's Hall dungeon. Can't wait until they make this a real good challenge. Yignol's still around here, occasionally dropping his shield. But yeah, nothing particularly dangerous about anything else yet. Let's get out of here. And we're in Shudderwood. Here on Freydlin. Actually, we're going to leave Shudderwood behind. In fact, actually, let's go this direction and let's go and visit... I can't remember what it's called. I can never remember what it's called. The city by the bloody... You know the one. Hegnar's Ironworks. Right next to Desarta. And you go down here to the the other place, which I can never remember the name of, and then Desarta itself. I'll just very quickly show you this. Hopefully won't edit it out as usual. Oh, that's it. Sarta Guard Cantonment. Still haven't really looked at what that bloody word means. Right, so that thing that happened in Weald, where the buildings are invisible, has happened again. And it's only happening in this save. Previously I tried it, and the buildings were here. There should be like a town hall just here with a forge in top. But yeah, major bug alert. You might not necessarily see this if you're playing it, but I'm slightly taken by surprise there. And there's another building there that's supposed to be there, but isn't. The Flesh Ripper is, of course, out there somewhere. Just running through an invisible building again. Yeah, it looks a bit harder to do this time. Although there's still plenty of ice, so I reckon you still might be able to get the sword without dying. Let's get out of here. It's giving me the creeps. So, just whilst I'm running around, whilst I think about it, a few other changes. They've started to add more cotton bushes around the place. The sundered cotton, things like this. Especially around existing buildings. So you can do all your bandage type stuff. Also, they've introduced silver nodes on Freydlin on the main second island. Previously that only used to be on the dragon island of Yamanga, which you still have to get to via portal. Oh, in a river. That means you can actually mine silver to make silver armour. However, there's only a couple of nodes, and I think it's near the walled Vera Chul city over there somewhere. So it's going to take a long time for you to be able to do anything. But the silver nodes are there if you need them. But yeah. So yeah, what we've got here is a bit of a broken build with quite a few bugs, quite a few ugly spots and stuff like that. Very much a work in progress at the moment, this. So, if you're new to the game, don't judge it on this, because things will change. And I can't wait to see what happens in the next few updates, because they have promised interesting things are ahead. And hopefully they'll get the bloody mobs back in, because there's hardly any around. After the ones I fought back on the first island, I've hardly seen any. It's been a little strange. But yeah, a big thing is, yeah, they've changed the coastline quite a lot. But I will keep on looking to see what else I can find. Yep, so we are getting towards the end of this Season 2 of these videos, but I will try and see what's happening in the next couple of updates, because that should be interesting. But then I think we'll take a break, and hopefully revisit the game for Season 3 when the game's closer to release, and we get more of an idea of how the game's going to feel at the very end of early access. Right, we'll finish our little adventure for today in the village of Snowmere. Oh, things are popping in. That's good. There might be still some invisible things around. Oh, there's bloody, what you call it, Troger there. Yeah, there's an invisible one. However, we have actually got this, so I can actually finally show it off. An actual completed building. You can still repair it back to its absolute form of glory. However, already... Oh, this one doesn't have a bloody forge in it. God damn it. That's no good. The one over there might, so let's go and visit that. Oh, there's the let's hope the portal still survived. It better have, otherwise there's no... Yeah, there it is. There's the portal. Otherwise there's no way to get onto the third island, the Dragon Island. But yes, since this is the wrong save, the portal is actually closed. Yeah, this is an incomplete town hall, so this is where the forge would be. You can still actually go upstairs and see where the forge... There, the forge would be there if you actually repaired this up to full spec. But there might actually be another... There might actually supposed to be another building here with a forge in it. But again, graphical glitches. All very peculiar. Oh no! So the novelty of actually managing to fight something in this bloody video is quite overwhelming. Okay, so yep. So yep, this is... I'll say goodbye now. Let's just try and actually tonk the bugger. I'll say goodbye here. Subscribe for future episodes of Savage Lands. And a lot of other games besides, and I shall see you next time. I've got really good dragon armour on, so I'm not going to die. If you've got no armour on, you'll die within one sweep. But no. There we go. Not as tough as you used to be. And you've dropped some copper ore and a shard of Draconis, so I can repair my... whatever the fuck it's called. Hooray! Okay, see you next time. Bye-bye.